The structural system. When was the last time you heard a runner had to quit the race because they were out of breath, or that it was too challenging cardiovascularly? Yes, they may have started out too hard. Yes, maybe they taxed their cardiovascular system too much and maybe got out of breath and had to slow down. But most times, especially marathon, ultramarathoning, not finishing the race or having huge diminishing returns later in the race is more a product of what's going on with the structural system. Our biomechanics dictate how well we use our muscles and limbs, and that affects our structural system. And that's a huge, huge piece of becoming a faster, stronger, more efficient runner, but also a runner who has longevity concerns, that we want to be able to run, hopefully, for as long as possible throughout our life, healthily, feeling good. And this is all about the structural system, not the cardiovascular system. That usually takes care of itself. Most runners have a good idea of the type of volume that might need to be put in for a marathon or ultramarathoning. The cardiovascular system takes care of itself. Too many runners place a lot of emphasis on the cardiovascular side of things and maybe do not consider some simple things in the foundation period that can be done to really help your structural system, which is what's going to really allow you that longevity and performance that you want in your race. So I just want to put this out there for something to start thinking about as maybe you're finishing up with your season and entering a little bit of rejuvenation time and then beginning your foundation period again. Some things that you can do to help with that structural system, so when you do approach your specific training for your race next season, that structural system, your muscles, your body is sound to allow you then to absorb maybe a little bit harder training, more appropriate training, more specific training, and help elevate your performance. So when we go back to foundation, and again, everybody needs to go back to foundational training. No one's immune to that. We always need to go back to the basics. Whenever there's anything skill involved, it requires going back to the basics and progressing again. That's how systems work, okay? So first and foremost, I guess I'm saying, is don't eliminate going back to base building, foundational building, even though you might be more of a veteran runner and might not think that that's appropriate for you. It's appropriate for everybody. All the elites do it, so should you. Okay, with that, there's some simple things that I want to put out there for you to start thinking about and maybe match it with what you're used to doing, and maybe how you can deviate a little bit within your foundation period of training that will again continue to help with this efficiency and this improved structural system. So all this leads back to how well or how poorly we use our body. And obviously we want to use our body well. And that always, from my opinion and my experience, 20 plus years of coaching, training, is the foundation starts at the feet. And you guys all know how important I feel foot strength and training the feet to train the body is. And once we get closer to winter and through winter, I will be doing more content specifically on foot strength when I can maybe be a little bit more indoors, and that lends itself to a little bit better teaching and coaching that way. But again, the foundation starts at the feet. That's our platform. If we don't have that stability, we don't have that integrity within our feet and our arch and our big toe, everything else is going to be at a challenge and at a compromised position if we don't have strong feet. And a lot of runners and athletes who hit the gym hard and heavy weights, if they don't have that structural system at the feet, you're only as strong as your feet, and you might be building other muscles too much that are out of equilibrium relative to your foot strength, and that can cause a lot of chassis system problems. Okay, if you get too strong in the quads, okay, your feet aren't going to be able to support that strength. That's what's going on with the NFL players. They're getting so strong and so powerful that a lot of the injuries are non-contact injuries, okay, and their feet can't support that power and that strength. So, getting distracted here with football players. Anyways, back to foundation. So, train your feet. Like I said, once we get into winter, I'll be doing a little bit more of that. Secondly, during your foundation period, I've said it many times, a lot of the biggest mistakes I see athletes and runners make is when they start building their volume again and their easy runs are still too fast. Approach what I call strength running, where you're backing off the intensity quite a bit and increasing that length of time for your long run. And this could be zone 1. It could be just a little bit harder or a little bit faster than what you're able to maintain with your with nose breathing. So try that, and maybe just a little bit faster than that. Okay? But the point is that we want to slow down, so when we are running at this very easy effort, we are using our structural system very, very well. We're landing underneath us. Because of the speed is so slow, we're naturally landing and striking the ground under us, which promotes equilibrium within the body and promotes good biomechanics from a strength standpoint. Okay, that's why I call it strength running. So even though you're running very, very easily, slow it down. It's still, every step is strength training. You got to throw the ego in the pocket. Do it alone, so you're not with other friends and trying to keep up. This is something that you do solo, so throw the ego in the pocket. Okay, this could be 2 minutes per mile slower than what you consider your easy pace. So again, every foot strike is a good one. You're developing good equilibrium within your muscles that way. So try that. And then secondly, just the opposite end of the spectrum, we want to speed way up and attack the structural system that way. So during foundation, again, this is another common mistake people make. They think they hear base building and then they automatically think everything should be easy. That's not the case. Okay, yes, after taking a period of time away from running, you want to ease back into it and not go right into faster running. But once you've done maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks of easing back into things after your rejuvenation period, you want to integrate maybe 10, 15, 20-second sprints. And these can be flat and on hills. Obviously, both would be better, once or twice a week. So you're training the legs, the limbs, the muscles, the fire, and to work on a much faster rate. And based on 10, 15, 20 seconds, I would consider these maybe moderately fast to fast. Not max effort. Never want max effort, okay? Because then you want to kind of string together 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. So you're looking to be consistent with all of them. Okay, but play around with it. The point is, I'm just trying to maybe put a little bit of different mindset into your mind of what base building is and how this relates to how we started this story to begin with, of engineering our structural system to become more efficient and allow you to layer on more performance for your racing. Okay, so add 10, 15, 20-second sprints, uphill, flats, and then third, add some downhill. Okay, keep these short during foundation phase, but again, downhill running is very, very good if it's done very, very well. And so during the foundation period, I have my athletes run downhills very, very easy, similar to the strength running of your easy run. So every foot strike is a good foot strike, because where we get into trouble with downhill running is we try to run it too fast, and the gravity pulls us into mistake, and we start reaching and we start heel striking and using our muscles in a poor manner. That's where downhill is bad. But in the foundation period, early in the season, you can have the patience to run your downhills very, very easy with good foot strike. That's good eccentric training. Eccentric is the landing. Okay, and eccentric strength is very, very important for runners. It will help increase your ability to have higher cadence, less ground contact time, and just the pure eccentric motion of the type of strength that is helps you to create more elasticity and rebound in your stride. Just like all the super shoes now have the carbon plates. That's for more energy return. Eccentric strength training creates energy return, okay? But it's gotta be easy on the downhills in the foundation period, so you're striking the ground underneath you. Don't go so fast that you have to heel strike or reach out in front of you and tax the quads too much. Get IT trouble, okay? So just some things to think about as we're maybe approaching what would be traditionally a foundation period in the next few months. So, all right, over and out. I'm back to my strength training.